Hi, how are you? Today I'd like to do another game, one of the best games by Eugene Torre versus Bobby Fischer. But first of all, I want to say hi to my Filipino friends. This game is back in 1992 in Sveti, Stefan in the former Yugoslavia. Going to the game. Yeah, Eugene Torre has the white pieces and Bobby Fischer black pieces. It's a Sicilian defense opening, a Lapin variation, Smith-Mora decline. First move by Torre, e4, c5. It's the Lapin variation, c3. And right there, very aggressive move by Torre, pushes his pawn, driving away the knight. Fischer moves his knight in the center. d4. Fischer captures. Knight f3. Now if Fischer captures the pawn, his knight is free right there. So of course Fischer will not do that. So it's going back to the game. Knight f3. So Fischer responds with knight c6. Bishop c4, threatening the knight in the center. Fischer defends the knight on d5. Torre captures the pawn and d6. Torre castles. Bishop e7. Queen e2. Very interesting move. At this point it's hard to see the intention for the queen e2, but we will see a few moves after. Castles. Right there, queen e4 with the intention of moving the bishop on d3 for a battery and attacking the h7 pawn, which is undefended right now. The knight at f6 defender is not there, so I guess Torre is starting up an attack while the knight is not there at f6. So moving ahead, a6, intending to move the pawn to b5 to drive away the bishop. So a3, defensive move, preventing knight, Fischer's knight to attack. b5, so now we see the battery. Okay, so g6, blocking the mate threat, but opens up an opening there for Torre's bishop on h6. So the rook has to move. Fischer moves his rook away from the bishop of Torre. Knight bd2, just developing his knight. Bishop b7. Bishop is on the same diagonal as Torre for a possible discovered attack. Rook fe1. Okay, so now Fischer starts to open up the bishop of his diagonal of his bishop on b7. Bishop f1, just repositioning his bishop. Rook c8, queen f4, very subtle move. Torre possibly just getting his queen away from Fischer's bishop diagonal on a b7. Knight d5, threatening Torre's queen. Queen g4. Torre captures. Fischer captures, Torre captures. Knight b8. Opening up the diagonal of the bishop on a b7. Torre proposes a exchange of rook. So Fischer starting to reroute his knight. h4 with the intention to go h5, attacking the g6 pawn. So traded rooks. Queen b8. Rook e1. Torre defends the e5 pawn. Queen c7, intending to attack queen b2, queen c2, sorry, and possibly capture the pawns at b2 and a3. So Torre prevents the queen c2 attack with his bishop on d3, and knight c5 attacking the bishop. Torre retreats his bishop all the way to b1, and en passant Fischer attacks the queen, but it's an en passant move. Captures. Fischer recaptures the pawn, threatens the white queen. Queen d4. What a good move. So Torre is consolidating his attack on Torre's king. Oh, sorry, Fischer's king. proposing a queen trade. Attacking the knight with his bishop. Traded queens. And now Torre is eyeing the e6 pawn. He's got two attackers. His rook and knight. And Fischer has only one defender of the e6 pawn. So now Fischer defends the pawn on a6, bishop d5. Torre attacks the knight. Knight a4, threatening to capture the pawn on b2. Bishop c6. Okay, thank you. That was my daughter. He's calling me to eat dinner. Hope the dinner is delicious. So Torre now attacking the bishop. Dark square bishop of Fischer. King f7, defending the knight, and check by Torre. King g8, knight c6, went back. King f7, going back and forth, and now Torre captures the bishop, and rook captures the knight, and now the rook. Fischer's rook is pinned. Oh, sorry. Fischer's knight is pinned because he has a rook at e7. So b3, driving away Fischer's knight. Fischer retreats his knight, and f3. So now Fischer has no more dark square bishops, so Torre can open his the diagonal, and he cannot be checked because there's no more dark square bishop. Also f3 is defending the center pawn. The pawn on f3 defending the center attack of possibly the bishop or the knight of Fischer. Bishop b7, rook b7, sorry, and bishop d3. Knight b7, defending his knight. King f2. Knight e5, threatening to capture Torre's bishop, and bishop e2, knight c6, king e3, d7, g4. Okay, Torre starts to attack his pawns. Bishop d, rook d7. Torre captures the knight. King captures. And check. King g7. Torre attacks the rook. And rook a7, defending his pawn. a6. Bishop d3. King f7. Torre challenges the bishop of Fischer. a5, advancing his pawns. Torre captures the bishop. Knight captures. Check. And Torre is prepositioning his king in the middle. Rerouting his knight. a4. And check by Torre. King f6. b4, avoiding the capture. Knight d7, challenging the knight, proposing a trade. And check by Torre. King f5. And knight c6, attacking the rook. Rook a6. And that was there's a little trap here. So let's go back a little bit. So if by mistake Fischer goes to pin Torre's knight, there is a check there. Discovered check. Discovering the rook, and then Fischer's rook can be captured. So Fischer saw the trap, and King a3, a5, check by Torre. King a6. That Torre's knight is just bouncing around all over the place. Knight c8. Knight b8. Ooh, rook c7. Excellent move by Torre, threatening to capture the pawn on h7 and attacking the 7th rank. Proposes a trade. So check by Torre. King d5. And knight a7, attacking Fischer's rook. Fischer checks. King moves. Fischer captures on a3. Torre captures on h7 and e4. fx a4, exchanging pawns, knight captures on b5. So now Torre is leading by a pawn. Rook b3, threatening to capture the pawn, and h5. Rook b2 check, king g3, king f5, defending his pawn, and check by Torre. Fischer captures the pawn, check again by Torre, and king f6. Good move. That was a good move, because if he captures the pawn, that's just Fischer can recapture the pawn, and it's a draw. It's a draw game, but that move, advancing his pawn, is a better choice. Rook captures on b4. So now Fischer has a pass pawn on the queen side. Okay, this is the move that was a mistake by Torre. So we'll see, I'll go back. So had Torre moved his rook on h8, he could have won the game and not draw, because there is no other way. If the king moves to f7, Torre can check, and Fischer moves there and check, and if he captures the pawn, can move there, and queen, and he can queen. Okay, so let's see another possibility here. So let's say so he moves there. Let's say if he moves the knight, he can move the knight, threaten the knight, and if he defends it, pawn can move there. King moves, and just would have been a winning game by Torre, but he missed it. He missed his opportunity to beat the legend, the great Bobby Fischer. So we'll go back to the game. What a big miss by Torre. He misses the opportunity. Would have been a great privilege to beat Fischer. A great honor to beat Fischer. So rook b5, knight h2, rook h5, threatening the pawn. Torre protects the pawn. King a6. Torre captures. Knight d7. Torre checks. King f7. He pins the knight. Fischer defends the knight. And h7. King comes close to prevent the promotion. So Torre is attempting to sacrifice his knight. Rook d1, and at this point the game is drawn. So yeah, like I said, Torre missed the opportunity to win this game. Could have beaten Fischer, but anyway. By the way, Torre is with Fischer in this in Yugoslavia, and Torre was a second to Fischer. This was a training game, not an official game. Training. Okay, I enjoyed this game. Really like the strategy by both players, how they coordinated their pieces to their attacks and defense as well. Both played good defense and offense. I hope you enjoyed the game as well. This is the only game that I can find between Fischer and Eugene Torre. So it's really a treasure. So till next time, if you have any comments, please leave your comments, and hope you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, take care and have a good one.